your forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Coming to you live from the Matex Heating and Cooling Weather Garden. Stepped outside, nice to get a little bit of fresh air, but notice I still got the jacket on, a light jacket kind of needed. It is a little cool because, once again, we've got a lot of cloud cover across the area. Again, nothing showing up on the Storm Tracker Doppler right now. And as we go throughout the course of tonight, we're really not going to see a whole lot. We will actually see clouds beginning to decrease as we head into the day tomorrow. Temperatures across the area here have struggled with readings only into the 60s. Now, as we go throughout the rest of tonight, we're going to see those temperatures that are going to be hovering into those 50s. So, sunshine. When does it come back? We'll look at that coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
A power struggle in the race to reopen. Governor Pritzker gives some ground, but also issues a new threat coming up.
It's the first time lawmakers have been back in months, what some wanted them to hear. And a Champaign man was killed in a car crash. Why police are looking for his girlfriend.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
Soon you will be able to get a drink at a bar or eat at a restaurant. You'll just have to do it outside. Good evening. I'm Jennifer Roscoe. This wasn't supposed to happen until phase 4 of the governor's plan, but that's all changing. We have team coverage for you tonight. Our Capitol Bureau Chief Mark Maxwell is live in Springfield. Jennifer Jensen is live in Urbana. First to Mark. So, Mark, the governor pulled back part of his threat to punish defiant businesses today, but now he's making a new threat to local law enforcement. What can you tell us about this breaking story?
Yeah, Jennifer, that part breaking just late tonight. We're hearing new word. The governor first made an about-face earlier this morning. His administration repealed a rule that it filed on Friday that would have threatened potentially criminal prosecution for businesses or owners who opened their businesses too quickly. Pritzker now says he never intended to put anyone behind bars, only to assess a fine or a citation, essentially. Now he's asking state lawmakers to step in and write a new law that would clarify that, expanding his enforcement power, but avoiding the criminal courts, only assessing a fine or a citation.
I think the proposed rule would have really had serious separation of powers issues. It's the General Assembly that needs to assess criminal liability, not the governor through administrative JCAR rules. So I'm very pleased.
That's Senator Paul Schimpf from downstate. He sits on that joint committee of administrative rules. He and other state lawmakers will now have to set out on that difficult search, trying to find the delicate balance between protecting the public health without punishing too many people or without punishing them too severely anyways. But things are still moving quickly tonight. We just obtained a new memo from the Illinois Emergency Management Agency, or IEMA, written to local law enforcement across the state, telling them that if they continue to defy Governor Pritzker and refuse to enforce his executive order, if they say they're not going to issue that ticket, essentially, then now the governor's administration says they risk losing federal funds. He said that in public. Now it's in writing. The stakes getting higher for local law enforcement. Jennifer?
All right, Mark, thank you so much. Now, like I said, bars and restaurants will now be allowed to seat people outdoors starting May 29th. That does come with restrictions, like tables have to be 6 feet apart and away from sidewalks. Staff will all have to wear masks. Other changes to phase 3, indoor and outdoor tennis courts can reopen. Golf courses will also be allowed to have foursomes on the same tee and use carts. Nail and hair salons, spas, and tattoo parlors are also set to reopen, and retail in-person shopping will be allowed. You can find a list of more places that can open the doors at the end of the month on WCIA.com. Now, today's announcement has restaurant owners in a frenzy, trying to figure out how to reopen under the new guidelines. We continue our team coverage with WCIA3's Jennifer Jensen. She's live in Urbana at the Apple Dumpling Restaurant. Jennifer, what is their plan?
Jennifer, there are a lot of things that many restaurant owners, including the ones here, will have to consider under these new guidelines, especially those who don't already have outdoor seating options like here at the Apple Dumpling. Some will have to buy or rent chairs and tables and clear out space outside to set those up. That's an extra expense they'll have to cover. The owners of the Apple Dumpling in Urbana say they plan to do this as soon as possible.
I'm not sure how we'll go about it, but we'll take advantage of anything we can. Just being a business, I'll put tables wherever I can and hope for the best weather. That's what we can hope for.
I've called several restaurants across central Illinois this afternoon, and since this announcement is so new, many are still organizing their plan to open outdoor seating. Mayors of cities like in Champaign, Urbana, and Monticello say as they consider this, they're going to wait for more specific guidelines from the governor as they continue to balance both supporting local small restaurants and protecting public safety. Live in Urbana, I'm Jennifer Jensen, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
A lot of plans starting to get in motion. All right, thank you so much. Now, with session started, Illinois House members have new rules. Representatives voted to require everyone to wear masks. Anyone not willing to listen could get kicked out. WCIA 3's Gabrielle Franklin caught up with the representative who got the boot and protesters who were on hand to support him.
Representatives walking into the Bank of Springfield Center for special session were greeted by protesters, many of whom weren't wearing face masks.
We're not wearing face masks mostly because we don't really know if they really actually do something.
But most lawmakers had their coverings on. Once inside, House Speaker Michael Madigan called for a change to the rules, requiring lawmakers to cover their faces and follow social distancing.
We've heard this message before, that if you cannot be 6 feet apart, then wear your mask. We're more than 6 feet apart, and I'll do whatever I can to stay isolated over here away from everyone else.
But Representative Darren Bailey would not put on a mask, and House members voted to have him removed from the building in order to keep everyone safe.
But to sit in there and just play these games that they're typically playing, no, I don't. I feel like I'm doing the genuine thing of standing up and representing the people and saying enough's enough.
People rallying at the Capitol say the Speaker's rule is an overreach of power.
That's straight communism or socialism. That's not right. It's our right to what we put on our bodies.
Reporting in Springfield, I'm Gabrielle Franklin.
Representative Bailey says he's unsure whether he will put on a mask and re-enter session sometime this week, but he is certain he will be in Clay County focused on his legal fight against the governor's stay-at-home order instead of at session with other lawmakers. There are more than 2,300 new coronavirus cases in the state that put Illinois over the 100,000 mark total. 147 more people lost their lives in the last 24 hours. There are around 4,500 deaths. Day 2 of testing wrapped up a couple of hours ago at the free COVID-19 testing site in Champaign. Today, there were 318 people who showed up at Marketplace Mall. Yesterday, that number was around 350. They open again tomorrow from 8 until 4. We have more information about the site and the requirements to get a test on our website. Police are looking for a Champaign woman who crashed her car into a tree, killing her passenger. The crash happened Saturday on West Church Street by Carson Avenue. The driver, Valinda Bender, had a blood alcohol content around 3 times the legal limit. Bender and her boyfriend, Marcus Williams, were both taken to the hospital. Williams later died. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting has the story.
This makeshift memorial is how Marcus Williams' loved ones are paying tribute to his life after he was killed here on West Church Street in a crash. The damage to this tree alone shows just how hard Valinda Bender's vehicle came crashing into it. Bender was driving down West Church Street in Champaign with her boyfriend Marcus Williams in the passenger seat. At some point, the vehicle swerved off the road. Neighbors I talked to say they heard the loud bang and looked outside to see the SUV on its side.
Church Street is obviously a residential neighborhood. This happened at night. I'm sure it was very jarring and tragic.
Both Bender and Williams were taken to the hospital, but Williams didn't pull through. Bender is charged with aggravated DUI, but she's still on the loose. Her alcohol content was 3 times the legal limit.
At this point, we have obtained a warrant for her arrest. They, obviously knew each other. So there is a huge tragedy here, and we really need to be able to locate her and move forward.
In Champaign, Courtney Bunting, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Police are asking anyone with information about where Bender might be to call them or Crime Stoppers. Firefighters have been working overtime where they are now looking into several vacant homes going up in flames. Also tonight. Most 4th of July fireworks shows have been canceled, where there may still be a place to see the skies light up over central Illinois.
We're trying to see the sky light up with the sun. I can't seem to find it anywhere, though, as the clouds stick around. And a recap of today, 62 degrees, still 13 below average. Coming back, though, we're going to talk about the sunshine returning, some storms for the weekend, and how we eventually go back above average. Coming up.